Hi, I'm Paul Friedman. I am the founder of the Marriage Foundation. And if you have been a subscriber, you know that our approach to marriage is so positive and so spot on in terms of being real. So we don't mislead you about anything. I used to be a divorce mediator over 20 years ago, and I shifted my practice because I wanted to help people stay married. And the common knowledge about marriage is mostly all wrong. So this topic, how to restore your marriage after infidelity. I want to be clear right from the start that when wives cheat on their husbands, it's very difficult. I'm not going to say impossible, but I have not had success in restoring those marriages, nor has any therapist who I have ever spoken with, and I've spoken with hundreds, and this topic comes up all the time. And so if you want to restore your marriage after your infidelity as a man, or if you're the wife and you want to restore your marriage after the infidelity of your husband, it's quite possible. In fact, I would say close to half of the people who take our course, whether for men or women, have suffered from infidelity in their marriage. So before we talk about restoring it, let's talk about, first of all, what you have to overcome. Now, if you're the man, you have to overcome your wife's feelings of betrayal. And that really is an umbrella topic. It covers a lot of ground. Your wife's feeling of humiliation and your wife's anger. And you may have to overcome your own proclivities to be animal-like and seek comfort elsewhere. Now, if you're the woman, you have to overcome your sense that you were betrayed. You have to overcome anger, and you have to overcome your husband's attitude that it wasn't that big a deal. Because oftentimes they don't realize what a big deal it is, and even though they may be saying, oh, I know it was such a big deal and I'll never do it again, you have to overcome that too. So there's only one way to restore a marriage, and that is to start from scratch. Because if your marriage was rolling along quite nicely, and then there was some infidelity, that would be one thing. And those cases occur. Maybe a man went out on a business thing, and, all men, and they all went to a strip bar, and he paid for sex. That happens. It's usually not what we're talking about, but that happens. He still should not have been open to that happening, even if he was drunk as a skunk, but it happens. If he's had an affair, much more difficult. So let's now talk about why men cheat on their wives. And when I talk about cheating, I'm talking about sexting, I'm talking about pornography, I'm talking about looking at women lustfully, not just looking at women, but lustfully. And I am talking about having an affair. I'm talking about emotional affairs, as they call them. I'm talking about all of it. Because loyalty is a binary choice. When you're married, you're obligated to be loyal. Period. which means you're not interested in anyone else. And if you are, or if your husband was, what forces are at play? And the forces that are at play are negative forces. Not the devil made him do it, but your marriage, the marriage, is not fulfilling as was intended or expected. And you cannot ignore this reality. You cannot jump from what a bastard he is, or you were, from the marriage is not fulfilling. Because we live in a cause and effect world, and we're not saints. We are exposed to temptations, and we are given at times to giving in to those temptations. And the thing that prevents us from giving into temptations almost universally is when what we already have is so good that we would never risk it. And you may think, well, no one's marriage is that good. And I'm here to tell you that that's the biggest problem. Your marriage, man or woman, is meant to be that good. And you are responsible, man or woman, for making it that good, but you don't know how. And you didn't know how. And that was the seed for what took place. Now, I'm not here to present a scale and say, well, you're being, let's just move into one particular scenario just as an example. You're being a crappy wife, because that's what it takes, is not enough of a reason for him to be a crappy husband. I'm not excusing his behavior or your behavior if you're the man. Because both of you have the opportunity to learn how to make your marriage unbelievably happy and filled with incredible love. But I am going to take you off the hook, because we don't learn these things growing up. And the educators we have for marriage is Hollywood. Through movies, through TV sitcoms, and all this other insane stuff that teaches us about recreational sex, and cheating is okay, and flaunting your boobs is fine in public, and all of that is okay. It's nothing to do with marriage. So can you restore your marriage after infidelity? Absolutely. How? Forget the past. Now, I know you're not going to forget the past, but don't focus on it. From today, learn. And you could use our courses for men or women. You're past just reading one of my books. Trust me. Learn how to be married, how to master your mind, how to bring in those promises of marriage that are intended, happiness and love. You know, I used to be a pilot many years ago, and if we ran into choppy air, you know what we'd do? We'd go up to where the air was smoother. When you don't know how to deal with the problems of marriage, it's because you're dealing with marriage as some mundane topic, when marriage is supposed to be lived in the stratosphere of love and joy. It's soul connection. Yes, your souls and your soul mates, but you have been living in the mundane, in the choppy air, where the world's problems and crap just pummels you. You have to learn how to lift it up, how to be where those rough air doesn't affect you. You have to learn. So answering this question is not enough. Can your marriage be restored? The answer is yes, but not by conventional means. You cannot go to a marriage counselor and hope for any kind of uplifting benefit. We get many people who sign up for our courses who say, well, we went to counseling 2 years ago, but then he started cheating on me again. Well, that's not a fix then, is it? Your marriage has to be restored to a place of where you conceived of it to be, not of where it ended up going, where it's delivering, so neither of you can even imagine living without each other. We're not into just restoring the crap. You want the real benefits of marriage, the joy, the love, that feeling of completeness, and you want it increasing every single day of your lives. That's why I did this, because I discovered how you can apply it to your marriage. I hope you got something out of this. Truly, I do. I'm Paul Friedman. I founded the Marriage Foundation. Thank you for spending time with me. I know you're going to subscribe so you could see in different areas what I'm talking about. And you leave a comment if you have a question or you just want to comment. But also look into our courses. It really will change everything. And this is not a sales pitch. Thank you. Blessings to you. Take care.